They call this the Nike for the mind with a $2 billion valuation. They weren't the first ones emerging in this space, but with successful marketing and building a personalized product, they paved their way to success. This is Calm. Hold on, Matt. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Sean Azari here with Matt SKOPAK.
What's going on, everyone?
Welcome to Deep Dive episode 54, where we dive into businesses like Calm and dive into their marketing and business strategies such that you can take these tactics and implement them into your business. Usually, we take e-commerce businesses, but Calm is an app. However, we could take these strategies. It's a great app, by the way, for those that I actually just used it for quite a bit to analyze them. Great app. But you could take a lot of these strategies and implement in your business. Matt, give us some context before we start about who Calm was, the founders, and so forth.
So Calm was founded in 2012 by two gentlemen, co-founders, Alex Tu and Michael Acton Smith. And basically what they want to create, and it started out as a meditation app, is they basically created this platform where individuals could use their app to basically gain mindfulness and be happy. It started in 2012. From there, it started out a little bit rough, and it was very slow growing, and at times they didn't even have any revenue. One of the gentlemen, I believe it was Alex, was actually a video game creator, and basically he gave up full time.
Was it Alex or Michael?
I think it was Alex. He gave up fully creating video games and then moved to San Francisco, where they created this app and went full-time, keeping the company to within under 10 people.
I think they were working out of like a one-bedroom.
A one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, they really freaking bootstrapping.
10 people, not even.
And by the way, they both had different types of businesses, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, or they were doing different things. I know Alex, I believe, had two websites, right?
He started with two websites.
One of them was, I have written it down here actually, it was the what is it called? Do nothing for 2 minutes. And he also had he became like they call it a minor internet celebrity with $1 million homepage that he, I think, built in 2011, which was, I guess, 2011. I think he sold it for something, right?
Probably did. But one of the web pages was just people that would subscribe to staring at a website of, I think it was overlooking just water flowing and the sound of it for 2 minutes without doing anything. And that was the first episode. So they've been in this meditation / space for a while, but the app Calm evolved. And one way that evolved and really what has made them very successful is storytelling. So
exactly.
That's where we're going to take off. And
but also what I love about this app and their story and their success. There was two other competitors in this space, right? What was it? Headspace? Headstrong.
And then
Mind something, I believe.
Mindfulness or
they were already in the field, and also they started out as a meditation app. Now, a lot of people have this stigma of like, it's meditation is very it's like a religious thing, or just like it's bullshit, and like they had to prove to a lot of investors, right, that it's not just easy. It wasn't easy, but they had to come up with a value proposition, or like show how this could be valuable for everybody and how it could solve it, not just for people that like to meditate, but people that in the workforce, or how it could help people in sports and so forth. So when they got to figuring that out and presenting that was the aha moment that people realized, oh my God, this is going to help a lot of people, not just in the meditation. That's how they expanded.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the VC, the way they think is if you can't differentiate yourself from others by what is your value proposition, then you really don't have a business. And that was the problem. Their investors, even their own investors, people that put money into the company, said, this is bullshit. Like, you're selling a load full of shit, or meditation. Like, this isn't going to work. Yeah. So imagine that, your own investors saying that to you, and then you still going out and growing.
I asked before we get to the points, I asked my cousin about this company. He's like, who are you guys going to talk about? And I was like, Calm. He's like, I would spend $1 million a year just to listen to them. I'm like, why? He's like, it's so worth it. And when I was in Texas over the holidays, someone told me, like, Calm is the best app. It's like, it's great. I've seen their marketing, I've seen their strategy, but when you're actually using the platform, you're realizing, wow, they're also educating you. like learn how to meditate, learn how to do that. Like they have these courses in the app, in very short form courses, and it's very soothing. So it's a great way to like it basically helps you throughout the process, and that's how we should always think in building a business, helping the consumer throughout your journey.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, there's a dog. I have my roommate's dog barking.
So it's a great way for basically people to enter into the space of meditation without thinking it's basically sitting and doing nothing for 10, 20 minutes.
Exactly.
So it's a great introduction.
All right. Number 1, create a freemium model. So Calm does is they have a free trial, one, so you could try out their services, right? Free stuff. But other ways that you could hear or listen to what Calm provides or services, they have YouTube videos where so one of their videos is like a fireplace, like a 4K fireplace with soothing crackling noise great for sleeping and relaxing, and they title it appropriately. So, and that's free. It's a 3-hour video. Someone could just put it on their TV screen and so forth. But if you want more of those sounds, you got to go to the app. So creating content like that, some sort of like value, like the team had to go build that out, spend a little bit money, put that out there. They're not gaining anything from it, but awareness, because they had to lead to a customer purchasing in later on for them a download. This could go in a lot of ways for e-commerce brand. Like we always say, like, hey, people used to do even just like create my art brand, like you could do IG screensavers, right? Yep. IG wallpapers where they could download the wallpaper and have it as their phone. Brand awareness. You're getting some free stuff.
A lot of people, brands do blogs, like news blogs or information blogs and things like that, where they send out something every month or every Friday, just information.
Yep.
So that is always a great way to give something to people to then hopefully.
It could even be a tool. I've seen this with I know I've heard of BuzzSumo. It looks up, it crawls, it finds basically viral topics, right?
Yep.
And if you put a topic on a keyword,
trending,
and you can, these are tools that were built. I forgot who built this. It could be Neil Patel or someone built these tools. There's like some free services you could use, but if you want to use the premium service, you got
premium analytics,
you got to pay for it.
Yep.
So there's all types of strategies you could do. Think of ways that you could, again, provide the user a free experience, but if they want a full experience, they got to pay for it.
No, I love it. Number 2, offer multiple payment and bundling options. So this is something that they do well in the app, but is great for any e-commerce business, is multiple payment options, and in terms of the way they bundle it. So they have a pay for after their premium, they are running a 40% discount for the holidays right now. So that's always something that e-commerce companies do. But then they have a monthly, a yearly, and a lifetime subscription option. And then furthermore, what they also offer is a family bundle, which they actually stole from Headstrong. But it gives you the ability to have 6 accounts through a family, not have to be in the same physical location, to be able to use the app. And what they are really doing, they're trying to get mass adoption, but it creates great revenue streams for cash flow. And we always talk about that. We always will talk about that. Subscription models where you can guarantee wake up and have generate revenue that you didn't have to market for is such a savior for your business and helps you keep the lights on so that you can keep on growing and then hitting the revenue metrics that you want. So we always talk about it, and this is something that they do awesome. Offer multiple ways. So
pricing tiers
for like Sean's company, Art. Offer something where, hey, buy a package for a year, you get 3 paintings sent out. For my brand, Sugar and Kush, say we send out almost like a subscription box where, hey, for $99 a year, we'll send out 4 different packages throughout the year of our different line items. It's just ways to stay fresh and how to always give your consumers something, which is the name of the business when you have a brand. You can't stay stagnant. You have to evolve, and you have to always provide more value to your consumers.
Yep, I agree. Like, think always bundles, right? Bundles and buy a bunch of stuff together.
Valentine's Day bundles.
Huge discount.
Venus, we talked about Venus at Floor. They killed it again this year, and I even saw a fragrance company. I think it was Joe Malone, a fragrance company. What they did is they had a Christmas calendar. We talked about Venus at Floor doing it, like 24 days of Christmas. They did it with fragrances. They had like a box, all different shelves, Joe Malone, that basically had different fragrances on. Like, this is a new idea. Like, bundles are going to be even further growing year after year.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially because with Facebook ad, keep risk keep increasing. Advertising is just really expensive right now. You got to find ways to increase your average order value, and this is the way of doing it. It's just bundling up products, giving people ideas of what they can do, how they can save, so it helps both the consumer and also the brand.
If you are going to do Facebook advertising, now is the time though. So after the holidays, beginning on about January 1st, CPMs go way down, so you can reach a lot more eyeballs for a much lesser of an amount than during the holiday season, like Black Friday. It's astronomical then.
Love it. Number 3, reverse engineer the type of hashtags that your customers will be using by thinking of what hashtags that you will be using when you're going to post content. I love this. This is not what Calm did, but this is actually when I was researching Calm, I looked at one of their posts. It said, calm your mind. Clicked on it. It had about, as of December of 30th, 2021, they had about 393,000 people that posted on it, right? While scrolling through, you see all these people, posting meditation stuff, all that. Those are your consumers. What are they doing? How are they listening to sound? Like, how are they meditating? And then, this is actually a great way to, if you want to, before you start a product, research basis, like how many people that will be interested in your product, because that's your one type of target consumer that you'll be targeting, but also your messaging, understanding what they're doing, and then how your product can solve that. So I think it's a great way of really studying your consumer. Like a lot of us, including myself, I'm very guilty of this. When I'm posting, I'm already I'm putting out the hashtags, not thinking of looking through a bunch of these hashtags and seeing who's involved in that. Let's actually investigate further of who's posting in these hashtags and why they're interested in that. Those are your consumers.
Absolutely. And those are tailor your products, or think about the products that you have that could basically offer value to these kind of people, and then backwards engineer the
just go on, investigate them, poke at one of them, just like, yo, motherfucker, this is my product, check me out.
Not in that language, but we get the point. Number 4, partner with large businesses or organizations that can find value in your service or product. This is something cool that I think Calm does, is they work with some of the biggest brands out there. I saw Heinz, I saw GoFundMe, I saw 2 or 3 Specialized, which is a bike brand. They basically have partnered with these companies, and what these companies have is they buy large, probably bundles of accounts for all their employees. They probably pay, instead of $60 a month, maybe they pay $5 for every employee, or less maybe. And then they give the ability to join Calm Premium for free to all their employees to use. And what there is there's actually data behind it that shows that employees that obviously use Calm, which I believe the click-through rate was about 29% of the people that have the option actually use it. Happier employers and employees that perform better because they get better sleep and they are more mindful and happier with basically using the app.
Matt, do you know the process behind that? I mean, you work for a corporation right now as well while doing all the other things, but have you seen the process? Like if someone wanted to go to your company and say, hey, we want to give your employees incentive. If they sign up, they get 20% discount. Is there a page for that? Like who do they contact? What's the process?
I would find any the major H&R, the human resources department, and then I would have a conversation. Usually they're pretty open about having a conversation about a service or product, depending how large the corporation is. Usually if you would need to be near the headquarters if it's a huge one, because that's usually where the corporate headquarters are. But if you're talking about smaller companies, then you could definitely just talk to them and then basically go through the analytics. And especially in this time and where we are right now with COVID and definitely the rise of technology and social media, which causes more stress, you can give options like this, or health options. Doesn't have to be, we're using Calm right now, but if you have a health food store, you can offer maybe Friday they meetings, or Fridays they do meals for their employees, where you can provide healthy food, or just any service. There's always ways that you can partner with a larger organization, business, grocery store, depending on what industry you are, to basically provide your service to the masses or a larger group of people. And that's just something that's just creative, and reach out to these businesses to try to create those relationships.
Yeah, I think another way of doing that is looking at, I talked about this in one of our podcasts, is looking at forums like Product Hunt or what was it? I mean, that's if depending on what your brand is and what your business is about. Looking for like these places where they show a bunch of different businesses, like a starting thing. Like even like it's kind of similar to like not similar, but you know how you see a business, a Groupon, for instance, right? It's a deal there. Like if you could figure out a way to, it's kind of a similar concept.
See, I mean, they've had corporate discounts for, I don't know, decades probably now, where, hey, you're an American Express employee, you have 20% off Hertz rental car or Hyatt hotels. Like, it's the same concept, but you're just going after maybe smaller businesses or local businesses and things like that. But it just creates more marketing without spending.
Number 5, will your ad placement elicit an emotional response? Come during the presidential race of what was it,
2020.
2020. Wow.
It felt like 20 years.
On CNN, they sponsored, like you'll see like an alert, like key race alert, and it said sponsored by Calm. Think about it, no one was calm during the presidential race. No one is really calm. They're like, who's going to be our next president, right? People were like worried, like there was a lot of tension going on. It was kind of like ironic because nothing was calm during that time. So, obviously that's, every 4 years and stuff like that, but you got to think of different ways of advertising, think of different ad placements. So when you're advertising, if you're doing you're going back to even like, banners. And I remember who did this, Manscaped, did this run in front of above a men's stall.
Yes, Manscaped.
Right? I don't know. I forgot what their ad was, but it was something, I think, funny or clever, but it was at the, at the right moment type of thing. I think, who else does a really good, not like for their ad placement, but Postmates has really good ads that, again, elicit an emotional response. People can relate to it. People will take a picture of it and tweet about it or post it on Instagram or share it to their friends, because at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want people to be talking about you so that, you could spend, I don't know how much they spent to put their ad placement with CNN, but apparently that returned a lot more. That increased their brand awareness, and a lot of people downloaded their app, got more awareness. So huge thing, try to be very strategic when you're thinking about that. Like where can you place your ads that it's going to elicit that type of response. Just kind of like a bad example, actually, Casper, who, we talked about them. I've heard they're in financial trouble a little bit. Great brand, right? They was great at marketing, but because of this term OPM, other people's money, they spent so much on marketing. I remember in New York at one point, they were just everywhere. They were on the subways everywhere. It just didn't, like, some of the places they put their stuff, it just didn't make sense. They just spent so much money, so they were just wasting. Instead of like thinking really strategic of like, let's think of like, where can we allocate this money, or where can we place these ads such that people could take pictures and then share it to their friends.
Yep. Someone else got rich off them.
Yeah.
That's how it always works.
Exactly.
So, number 6, this is a general one. Believe in your vision. And this is something, when you listen to the founders, is they were numerous times before it really took off. And I would say probably 2016, 2017, there were numerous times where like the business was close to shutting down, where they said they had thousands of dollars in their bank account, and basically their own investors were questioning and wanted to kick them out as co-CEOs and co-founders. So this is something very important for you starting the business. And there's rarely, if any, business that it's all success. I mean, I haven't been a part of any business that like it just takes off and like from day one there's never problems and you're just killing it and you sell it for hundreds of millions of dollars. I feel like that's the vision that everyone gets sold, but that's not the truth. So like if you believe in something, if you create something and you really believe that there's value and you have validation from at least some other people or customers and things like that, like you need to stick to what your value is. These guys were told, hey, like you're selling a boatload of shit to people. Meditation, it's something that was used hundreds of years ago. It's not true anymore. And then let's say 2018, 2019, 2020, COVID hits. Social media is becoming very criticized as being not good for your mental health. And now they're doing $25 million a quarter in revenue and have a $2 billion valuation. So if you're in a business, always have an idea, like believe in your vision and keep moving forward like they did. But that's just one important thing, that as a business owner, both business owners and talking to others, you always just need someone out there to say, hey, you have a great product, keep on going, or we believe in it. So
100% believing in your vision, but also having the people that you surround yourself with, the people, your employees, your co-founder, whoever, your investors, they have to also believe in it as well. And if they don't, you have to prove it, not prove it to them by like, oh, they'll show you. No, show them by experience, either trying out your product or showing them why it's going to benefit a lot more people than just the I think that's how they
I think
did
that
an
actually
example.
happened to them. He was saying like he wasn't one of them. I don't know if it was. I think it might have been Alex that was actually not like a full believer in meditation.
Yeah.
And he basically did a solo trip by himself to, I believe, somewhere in the mountains, I believe it was. And he basically went there and he basically did meditation on some balcony.
Yeah, he didn't believe it. He thought it was bullshit.
And then he came back and had that aha moment, as they call it, where basically he's like, wow, this really does work. And that's the one thing I think with meditation and with Calm is why they do well, and with any business is you have to create like the entryway for your people to see like why this product is valuable. Meditation's not that many people do it, but many of the most successful people do it, like 80% of the most successful people. But there's no easy bridge to meditation other than like sitting down and really believing that this is going to help you, which is really hard when there aren't instant results or you can't tell that something's working. So what Calm did is they kind of use storytelling and like screens of just watching Word to bring this to people to be like, wow, I don't know what this is, but I do feel better.
Yeah. I'm actually going to do a number 7. I'm going to add I think because they have so many great things that we could learn from. So 7, create a personalized sharing strategy. So after 1 or 2 sessions, when you listen to Calm, they provide you with a quote that's relevant to you. So if it's a meditation type of quote, it's going to be something that you could relate to, and you're in that mindset already. So they have a branded quote where you could just easily share on social media because people love sharing quotes. You see that all over. So it's bringing more awareness. And I was telling Matt earlier, I'm like, I can even do this in my brand. I got to implement it. One of my to-do of 100 different things. But, if someone buys, again, for my art brand, a motivational type of art, at the end of the checkout, like after they purchase, right, I could say, hey, do you want to receive motivational quotes on your inbox every day? Sign up. Like it would be like a little form right there. So they're just getting emails. I don't want to send it to everybody. I want to send it for people that want that motivational quote. So it reminds them. And then on top of that, if they get that, they love those quotes, they'll be sharing it. So they'll be sharing on their social media. Because again, people love quotes. If you do a cool little image with a nice quote on it, you'll see that all over Instagram. So again, that's also that freemium stuff. So try to think of a way if you could do a personalized sharing strategy. That's it, right?
That's all we got.
Guys, I hope you like this episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe for more weekly videos. If you have any questions, you could tweet us at SKOPAK or at Sean_Azari. If you listen to this on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, where else? Matt, where are we on?
Apple?
That's
you say
iTunes.
that?
iTunes. I don't know. And Metaverse. We're not in the Metaverse yet. But if you're listening to this, give us a 5-star review if you thought this was beneficial, if this helped you. If you know someone that's starting a business or in their middle of working on building their business and they need help with their business strategies, marketing strategies, share this content with them. And we will see you next week. Ciao.
Bye.